Hello, my name's Dominic Chorney, Ancient Coin Specialist at Baldwin's, and today we're going to be looking at one of the most important coins from the late Roman Republic. This is a silver denarius of the money Hostilius Cicerna, and at first glance it looks like any Roman Republican coin. We've got a portrait on one side and a couple of horses and some riders on the reverse. But if we look a bit more closely, we can see that this coin is far more historically important. On the obverse, we can see a bearded male head. He's got very dishevelled hair flowing back, and we can see a distinctive shield behind him. He's also got a beard, and he's got a chain around his neck. Now that's quite unusual. If we turn the coin over and look at the reverse, we can see a chariot with a driver and someone riding it, and underneath the inscription Sacern in Latin. So there's no doubt that this is a Roman coin. But we need to look at the history of the coin to really properly understand it. This coin was minted in 48 BC in Rome, and it was issued in the years after Vercingetorix's surrender. Vercingetorix was a Gallic chieftain, and Gaul was the area that's now modern-day France. He's a really important folk hero in French history, and he revolted against Julius Caesar. He united all of the Gallic tribes against him. Now, this ended at the Battle of Alesia in 52 BC, where Vercingetorix was forced to surrender so that a lot of his men might have lived. This coin was minted in 48 BC, so a few years later, while Vercingetorix was in Rome, and many believe that this coin features his portrait, and that would make it unique as a Roman coin featuring the portrait of a vanquished foe. It's also very detailed. It's been engraved with serious quality and style, and some think that it may have actually been taken from life while Vercingetorix was imprisoned in Rome. He was actually taken through the streets of Rome as part of Julius Caesar's grand triumph in 46 BC, so 2 years after this coin was minted, and he was then killed in a massive celebration, so quite vicious and bloody, in front of millions of cheering Romans. So it's either a portrait of Vercingetorix himself, minted in the years before he was executed, or it's the portrait of an anonymous Gallic warrior. We can see the chain around his neck, so it symbolises the subjugation that Gaul was now under. If we turn the coin over, we can see a two-horse chariot, a weapon that the Gauls would have used, and we can see on the back there's a rider behind ready to hurl a spear. Next to it, I've also got a much more common coin. This is a Julius Caesar silver denarius. It's one of the most iconic coins from the Roman period, but I think it's interesting to compare them because it was minted around the same time. It was minted in around 48 to 46 BC. And this, we have an elephant trampling a horned serpent. Now, some think that's a depiction of Caesar trampling his enemies in the Senate, Pompey, for example. But some have also thought that it might be another tribute to the Gallic Wars, in that we have the power of Caesar trampling a Gallic war trumpet, and that might be what the serpent is. And on the other side, we have emblems of the pontificate. Caesar was the chief priest of Rome, so he has the various ritual implements on the reverse. So the so-called Vercingetorix denarius is a very historically important coin, and in this condition can fetch upwards of £8,000. So whether or not this coin really depicts the portrait of Vercingetorix is a mystery. I like to think it does. It's a fascinating story, and regardless, it's one of the most important coins in the history of the Roman Republic.